Hi, this is Christopher Sheldon from Noble Master Games. Today I'm gonna demo how a power bypass works in Rito Commander. Power bypass is a device that drains power from a power grid. I have one here located in this heavy airlift, and I'm gonna demo it, how we connect it to the enemy power grid to drain their power and prevent their turrets from working properly. Obviously, you can also use it on your ARM power grid, but it probably makes little sense because you want to keep all the power for your defenses or for your production facilities. But it's great when used against enemy power grids. Let me show you how it works. Let me attack normally without the power bypass in place, and you see when I attack, let me select the planes again. When I attack normally with my helicopters, you see some of them get destroyed because all the missile turrets are basically gonna destroy my helicopters. Yeah, not all of them. But it cost me money. If you see up here, every time I lose a plane, it gets regenerated on the carrier, but it costs money. I can do this a couple times and still I make little progress. You see here I lost at least 4 planes that have been regenerated on the aircraft carriers. So instead of attacking again and losing more planes and having to pay for it, what I have here is I have this enemy outpost which is connected to the main power grid on the main island. And my plan now is to disrupt the power grid so the enemy turrets don't fire that quickly. I have the power bypass in one heavy airlift and a couple builder robots in the other. Let's move them to the island. Now to connect the bypass to the enemy grid, I need to connect my power poles to the enemy grid. And you should do that obviously so the enemy doesn't realize what's happening. And here I have the power bypass. I put it into place. And here with the upgrade or transfer unit button, I can get it to start to work. I click, for example, here on my power pole and I see how much power the enemy generates. It generates 60 energy, 35 is used. And there's a battery storage. Let me move the recon plane a little bit closer. Here in battery backup. It's a battery backup by the enemy. That's usually increasing. I can't see it because it's an enemy accumulator. But you see the enemy power grid generates more and more accumulator power. And let's see what happens when I put that power bypass into action. Now it unfolds into position. And you see the enemy accumulator power is decreasing because that power bypass uses a lot of energy. It takes 285 energy. The enemy is only producing 25. And now he recognizes also on the power lines there's not enough power on the enemy power grids. And it's all connected to the main island. You can see it a little bit here. And now when I attack with the helicopter again, the enemy missile turrets fire, but they can't fire as much because they don't have enough energy to fire over a longer period of time. So you see, I'm able to do a lot of damage because the enemy power grid is too weak. I guess for this assault I still lost, I guess, 1 helicopter, but I didn't lose 4 as the last time around. I can do that a couple times. until the major enemy missile turrets are destroyed. And yeah, there's only usually one salvo of attacks, because after the first salvo, like, all the enemy power is drained for those missile turrets. And the more turrets I take out, the easier it gets. The enemy is also not able to produce at the same rate because there is not enough power. Obviously, it's not a tactic that he can use every time, but that's a tactic he can use sometimes, because it's probably not clear to the enemy what is happening. They probably wonder why the power isn't working. While we hiddenly, on that hidden island there, we set up a devious power bypass. And you see, slowly I'm making progress. I'm taking more and more turrets out. I also destroyed a couple buildings. And eventually, after I do that a couple times, I still lost a couple helicopters. After I do that a couple times, I'm ready to bring in my assault troops over there. I'm not gonna demo it this time around. But let me make one more pass, because this is fun. There are a bunch of turrets over there. We destroyed another 2 turrets. Eventually, once all the turrets are gone, then I can fly in with my helicopters without any loss. And that's how a power bypass works. If I click on my, what do you call it, on my, for example, my power pole, I see they only have 10% energy. They produce 30, we still take away about 278. They have no reserves. And that's how you take the enemy. Feel free to post questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.